Oh, so show you a trick shot.
Yeah.
Oh. Listen, if you can impress Adam Gilchrist with a trick shot, then you know you've had a good day. Pure luck, man. Pure luck. How do you react to talk of people saying that you're the greatest keeper batsman ever to play the game?
I'd say there's a few people in Ranchi that might disagree with that. You don't sit and reflect on yourself in that capacity or wonder whether you were or who was even really. They're all of them in their own right, their own timing. Baz was amazing because he came in so young and he was learning the art of batting, and Sangar's unbelievable. What did he get? 100 hundreds the other day in first class cricket. I mean, MS, remarkable what he achieved.
Yeah.
And totally in the most unique, personalised way. And on top of that too, he's carved out a reasonable brand and business.
Yeah.
The business of MS Dhoni. Front up so many campaigns, sponsors, and do all that. It's massive. I remember I used to know that if I was doing if a TV campaign came out that I was in and advertising something or promoting something during a series, I'd be a bit nervous about it. Oh, geez, I hope I perform well because I don't want to be getting out for a duck or dropping a catch and then in the ad break is me going, champion, hold on to that. So I can't imagine the expectation and pressure on him. Admirable.
When you guys, that Australian team had more good days than bad days, right?
Yeah.
How did you guys tackle the bad days?
I think it's a good question. I think as a team we had more good than bad, but that didn't mean that every individual had more good than bad.
Fair point.
I love the line that people probably use about Sachin is that got 100 hundreds, but that was conservatively from 400 innings.
Yeah. 600 games, so it's 400 ODIs, 200 tests, so you're looking at 700 innings or so.
700 innings. That means he's not got 100, so if you want to deem that as a failure, he failed 600 times and passed the test 100 times. So break it down like that. The reality is you're probably going to fail or be disappointed more than you're happy, so it's how you handle those failures as to whether you can unlock your capability to get the good times. So we as a team just stripped it back to say the basics. Okay, what were our objectives? What was our plan? Did we tick those boxes? And usually you couldn't say yes to any of that if you'd had a bad day. So what kept the team hungry, particularly if the team had a bad day, was a desire to be the one to make the difference.
Do you remember the 2001 test match? Do you remember your mindset after that test match? Because you guys, was that the first loss after like some 16 wins? That was the first one after.
Yeah.
And you guys had that game.
Oh. And that was my first test match in India. Yeah. And we were very aware that it was at that point in time, I think 31 years or something that since Australia had achieved a victory in Test cricket in India. So we're aware of that, and we come over and we play Mumbai, win in 3 days, and just thought, what's this all about? What's the issue, boys? What have you been doing for 30 years? But then we went up to Calcutta for the next test.
Yeah.
Morning of day 4. But effectively, we still had a lead.
Yeah.
And as far as we were concerned, we had Sachin out.
Yeah.
So we just needed to get a breakthrough, either VVS or Rahul. And I remember Michael Slater, sitting in the change room and out of his bag, and he had the cigar out before we went out on the field, sort of going, oh, tonight, boys, tonight, here we go, you'll be ready. Of course, we didn't get a wicket. So in the Calcutta test, I got a king pair.
Yeah. That strategy didn't work out too well.
Out first ball, both innings, first Australian ever to do it. Geez, I was plumb in the second innings. And I remember going out there just delirious, and Sachin, I just remember the crowd, Sachin. And he set this trap, tempting me to sweep, and it's the old don't sweep, don't sweep, don't sweep. He floats up a leggy, try to sweep, bang, plum LB. I wasn't out first innings, I've got to say that.
Yeah.
Hit it, pitched outside leg. Anyway, well done, Baji, you got your hat trick.
But Baji getting a hat trick with your wicket pales in comparison to you getting his wicket.
Oh,
as the only wicket you have.
Sweet revenge. An IPL match, my last game, I was happy to
have some fun.
I reckon I might have spun it. No, I didn't spin it. I was going to say spun it a bit more than him, but I didn't spin it.
And of course, you did every celebration after that.
Spellers,
you did.
Yeah. Well, it was the era of the Gangnam Style, and then.
But is an even bigger compliment when Andrew Symonds said that you celebrate better than him? Listen, Simo telling you that because I have seen him a few evenings after games.
So I reckon there's been a committee meeting of some sort of my teammates. That there's now this desire to spread this accusation and rumour, which may or may not be true.
Yeah.
But you got to celebrate your successes.
You got to.
As I said before, there's too many down days to not maximise the celebration of. I remember 2004, I think, was we had a TVS Cup.
Yeah.
We played the final at Eden Gardens and we won against India, and we celebrated. We were sort of flying out the next day at about midday.
Yeah.
And myself and Simo and Jimmy Ma, who was in the team then, were down at breakfast. We hadn't been to bed. We were still there going all night, still in our clothes.
Whoa.
And John Wright, who was coach at the time of India, came down and he sat down and actually had a beer with us at breakfast, which was good of him. But he looked around and he said, would love to have been in the Aussie cricket team for that one reason. You folks know how to celebrate, don't you? I'll never forget that. And considering...
Bring it.
Here we go. Drinks break. There we go. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers. Cheers. The breakfast of champions,
nice to see you, yeah. Ooh.
For all the kids watching at home, that's fruit beer.
That's right, yeah. And
mixed with a
John Wright. Morning.
Good morning. You dropped my camera. Who was the prankster in the Aussie team?
Ponting.
No.
No, I knew you'd say that.
No.
I knew you'd say that.
Come on.
Early days, he was just a rat bag. He's a boy from a place called Mowbray in Launceston, Tasmania, small, slightly little rough part of town. And he was a street fighter, literally, at one point. No, he was mischievous. Still is.
No.
Still is a bit, but he had to temper it down, obviously, with the responsibility and maturity of captaincy. But we played 1998 Commonwealth Games, and we're in the...
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, and we'd play a game, and then it's fair to say we enjoyed our experience at the Commonwealth Games, so we'd go out at night, go and watch some other events and maybe go out for a drink. And the boys would probably get a little bit merry a few times and be out a bit long, a bit late.
Yeah.
But Punter was pretty young at the time. He'd come home early and he basically set up a sequence of booby traps. The first one at the front door, and then, like literally the bucket of water. So blokes are coming home late at night, open the door, bucket of water falling down, you'd hear it, and then they'd walk a bit further and it's all dark and he'd have a tripwire set up, blokes falling over, chairs crashing around.
Man, just when you think of no guy, huh?
There you go, punt, cop that.
He also, you said, is an astute reader of the game, Ricky.
Yeah.
Just really in the play.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
He analyses every aspect of the game. He used to come to me when I was vice captain, and he'd come up and say, "Gilly, what do you think about this? The ball's doing that. Just look at this guy's grip. He's definitely going to go that way, and I'm thinking about this." And I'd just sort of go, well, I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about what we were doing tonight and switching off in between deliveries, just trying to catch the ball. But yeah, so I don't think Ricky was a great communicator when he started, but learnt the art of communication as he went on. And I think he did that really well. Guys like Andrew Symonds, he just found a way to really drag the best out of him.
Yeah.
Warne, I used to sit and watch punter try and get the ball out of Warnie's hand so you're not bowling, and I'd sit there going, oh no, this is going to be ugly. And Warne he'd be pretty dirty.
Yeah.
Because he had that killer instinct that he just wanted to keep bowling, and punter will an over later come up and make a joke or say something, and Warne and him would be laughing, whereas I'd be, if I was captain doing that to Warne, I'd be sitting there going, oh, he hates me, he won't talk to me now, whether it's Warne or anyone else.
Oh, there you go. Okay, you got to try one of these.
Wow.
Oh,
which one is spicy? So I'll show you. Let me
pour
just
it into it, don't you? And then you.
let me lead the way and show you the first.
No, come on.
Sometimes
No,
Gilly-
we'll do it together. Hang on, we're gonna do this together. Come on. Righto. Does it need a stir?
Close
or is that
up,
all right?
close
Righto,
up.
eh?
So we,
Cheers.
cheers.
Here
So
we
we
go.
just let's just do it like this.
Yep.
All right, doing it. Get it in.
Still very good.
That was good. Whoa,
That's a good feast,
that
that.
woke me up.
That's a good feast.
That's a good piece, isn't it? My wife's always telling me to eat less spicy food.
You're Delhi originally, are you?
Yeah. So she's Delhi as well. We only got married 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Not like you boys. You also got about mid-20s, right?
Yeah. Oh, Mel and I have been, our first go at a relationship was when we were 13 years old in year 8.
That's cute.
And I took it to the movies. The romantic comedy that is Rambo. Couldn't work out why she wouldn't let me give her a cuddle. It's so romantic, this bloke shooting everyone and blood and heads flying off. But needless to say, we had about a 3-year hiatus where, no, this ain't working.
Not this guy.
And then when we were 17, we got back together and now we got 4 kids.
Nice. Yeah, so the takeaway from that story is that Rambo is not a good first date movie.
No, I wouldn't recommend it.
If you guys had a WhatsApp group from the team back then, who'd be sending the worst jokes?
Haydos.
Yeah.
And they're jokes that don't have a punchline. They just go on and on and on. Clearly it's well documented that he loves his culinary delights, and I hate to say it, but he's actually a pretty good cook. Particularly on tours to India. He'd have the big kit bag of gear, about 10 bats in there and so on. Kit bag of clothing, which were minimal with Haydos.
Yes.
And then another equally big size kit bag full of food items and a little cooker, and steamer, pots, pans, and
Pizza oven.
mate, he would have if he could have.
You know, when you and Haydos were batting, it was like good cop, bad cop. It was like, you know, the boy next door and the bulldog, right? He is just the opposite in real life.
Yeah.
He was playing a character.
Yeah. Oh, he loved it. It's spot on. It was a theatrical performance.
Yeah.
He'd walk out to bat, and all in his time.
Yeah.
The whole world stopped while Matty got ready. You'd hear the comments, "Come on, mate, hurry up! You right, mate?" And Haydos just was in the zone, doing the squat up and down and all that, strutting around, and then start looking up and praying and all of these things. And then when he was ready, just get down. And he loved going looking for a fight. Shoaib, first over. Is that the quickest you're going to bowl today, Shoaib? They had some ding-dong battles, those two. But I'd be sitting there going, no, don't fire him up, Haydos. Now, 140's fine, not 150.
Yeah.
We don't need that. I mean, 03 World Cup final, Zach charged in. First ball was a big wide. But what I remember is the fielders come running and they were so pumped up. Came in chirping, screaming, yelling. Zach came down, even though it was a wide, he was sort of right in them. And Haydos just went. In fact, he might have been doing it from the non-strikers then prior to even getting on strike, but he just absolutely got in, Zach. And I think the first over went for 15.
Was that the squash ball final or was 2003 the...
2007,
2007 was?
Yep.
What's the story with that half squash ball?
It was a technical training device, if you like. I used to... Basically, if I gripped my bottom hand, which is my left hand, too hard and too tightly on the bat handle, I'd lose all the shape of my shot. So my batting coach, Bob in Perth, suggested putting this squash ball in the bottom hand of my glove, basically to take those fingers off the bat handle. So that only those, and they would work as a guide. I guess the best way to describe it, it's like having a pebble in your shoe. You can function, you can even run, certainly walk, but it's annoying. That's what it felt a bit like. You knew, and I knew in my mind, it probably helped my mindset more than anything. I knew there was a reason for it. It was functioning okay, but it was a bit of a leap of faith to use it in a match. And then decided to use it for the final. And it was only when I was in the 90s where I remembered Bob saying, right, when you get 100 in the World Cup final, prove to me you got it in there. So I'm in the 90s, bang, hit the forward, bring up the 100 and just, right, showing everyone. Not even my teammates knew. They're all going, what are you talking about? I'm going, there it is on the TV camera.
So he was your Miyagi-san.
Yeah, that's right.
With that, and the squash ball was the headband.
Absolutely.
There you go, Miyagi-san.
Mission accomplished.
I'm sure the other blokes didn't like it when you were just walking. It's not something that's in the game anymore, right? It's a very old school kind of guy. You're Max Walker.
Haven't heard that one referred to it as that
Max
before,
Walker.
I don't remember many occasions where I needed to make that conscious decision of whether I was going to walk or not. And I understand that it's one of those intricacies of the game that you don't have to walk off, you just got to accept the umpire's decision. But I do remember when I was about 19 playing a game and this old wily leggy ran in, bowled it, and I went for a cut shot and smashed it, caught behind, got given not out. And I stood there and kept batting. And I got 100 and I remember feeling guilty. And in the change rooms, the old boy came over to me and goes, "Oh, well played, mate, well played." And I went, sorry, buddy, sorry about it. He goes, "No, don't worry about it." He said, "It clearly means more to you than it does to me." And I sort of, it was a pretty hollow comment. It's like, not on his behalf, on me. How desperate are you to do well to the point of going against the rules or whatever? A lot of what you do on the cricket field reflective of personality and your makeup, and a lot of your makeup comes from your family and your parents and that grounding, that foundation. So my dad was a very decent cricketer, played a lot of cricket, and he was a walker. He was, lived and played by those sort of values. So I guess that rubs off. But
value system, you gotta have a value system, and it's your own. You don't need to justify it to anybody.
Exactly, right? And just because I walk or someone else walks doesn't mean we're questioning other people's values. I think that's a point that I really like to make, because I don't want anyone thinking I'm judging others who don't walk. It's each to their own. It's just the way it is, and that's cricket. That's one of those unique things about cricket.
Let's go play just one quick game of pool, and then I'll drop you back.
Okay. Solid, is that what you call it?
Yeah, solids and stripes. Right. What do you call it?
Bigs and smalls.
Bigs and smalls? Alright. Slow down. The good thing about losing without getting a shot is nobody will know how rubbish I am. Might as well just give him my money. Mr. Gilchrist has been disqualified from the game and been declared the winner by walkover. Yeah, let's put the umpires on my side, bro.
I'll happily walk.
Excellent. Let me drop. Oh, so show you a trick shot. Listen, if you can impress Adam Gilchrist with a trick shot, then you know you've had a good day. Pure luck, man. Pure luck.
Do it again.
बच्चा, अगर आप इस वीडियो को अगले 10 सेकंड में 4 लोगों के साथ शेयर करेंगे तो अगले आधे घंटे में आपकी लाइफ में कुछ बहुत अच्छा होगा। तथास्तु, यहाँ पे सब्सक्राइब करें और यहाँ पे पुराने एपिसोड देखें। जुग जुग जियो।